Tacking your horse up inside a trailer is just a recipe for disaster, and above all else, it's lazy. Stop tacking your horses up in trailers. My God. Hey bitch, and welcome back to another Raleigh Reacts video. If you guys are new to these videos, these are basically videos of me reacting to animal abuse, more specifically horse abuse, but it can really be about anything. All of these videos are submission based. So if you guys would like to send me a video to react to, send it to raleighreacts@gmail.com, right up there on the screen and in the description down below. However, before we get into today's video, I want to say a huge thank you to this video's sponsor, which is Animal Nutrition Calculator. With Animal Nutrition Calculators, you have the power to make informed decisions about your animal's diet and ensure their well-being. So say goodbye to guesswork and start providing your animals with the nutrition they deserve. Animal Nutrition Calculator is here to better the lives and nutrition of animals all around the world. Best of all, Animal Nutrition Calculator has 3 free base calculators that give you a basic understanding of your animal's daily nutritional caloric needs for dogs, cats, and horses, as well as they're coming out with premiums for all animals listed on their website. Currently, they have premiums available for horses, which, oh my God, are amazing. The forage calculator has helped me out literally so much to understand what type of food to feed my animal and how much to feed, the nutritional value of the food that I'm feeding. It's just honestly amazing, and all of their premium calculators are just $2.99. When I'm telling you guys that it saves you so much money, even doing hours and hours and even potentially weeks of research yourself, spending hundreds of dollars on veterinary nutritional books, I mean, these calculators are so useful, they're convenient, and they save you so much time and money. So their premium calculators provide personalized recommendations to ensure for optimal nutrition for all of your animals and their specific lifestyles. With Animal Nutrition Calculator, you can give your animals a chance to live a vibrant, healthy, and happy life. It all starts from within and understanding what your animal needs, requires. For just $2.99, you guys really are getting such a great deal. So you guys can check them out. They're going to be the first link in the description down below. Thank you again. Let's get to it. I know why you clicked. So I am getting a new horse this weekend, and many of you guys already know her. Her name's Raleigh. Raleigh is a 19-year-old Friesian mare, and she is full Friesian. I know I get a lot of people who say, oh my God, Brayley's absolutely massive. I used to ride her in dressage when I lived in California, and she is very big. She's a very big Friesian, but she is full-bred Friesian. Moreover, Raleigh is being transported up here this weekend, and she's going to be reunited with Link probably Sunday or Monday, and I'm going to be filming a whole video about it, plus her rehabilitation on my Patreon or YouTube members. So if you guys would like to subscribe, definitely subscribe if you want to see Raleig's homecoming and just her being the newest addition to the family. Now, I get a lot of people who ask me this question, so I just wanted to go ahead and answer it in this video, because I know some of you guys are not subscribed to Patreon or members, which is where I post all of my horsey videos. Raleigh is actually willed to me by one of my really close friends. My friend Patty, who I've known for several years, has been really, really close with me and my family, and she's basically family to me, as is pretty much everyone there at my old barn in California. I just love all of them so much. Essentially, not going into too great of detail, Patty has had some pretty severe health complications and health challenges that I'm not going to disclose any further because I don't really feel like it's my place to do that. Basically, Patty has been really open with me over the last several years that I was riding Raleigh in dressage, that she wanted me to take her if anything happened. So for all of you wondering why Raleigh did not move up with me in November, she didn't move up with me because she's not technically my horse yet. And again, like I said, it's more of just a charity situation. I'm doing it because Patty's my friend and I love Braley and I want to give her a good home for the rest of her life. And Patty, I feel so grateful that she trusts me with her horse that is her baby, and that she trusted me for years to ride her in dressage, and that now she trusts me in Braley's retirement, and that she is essentially gifting Braley to me to be part of our family and to retire up here and live a healthy, happy life. But, you know, it is really bittersweet because I love Patty to death. If you're watching this, Patty, you know, I love you. I think she realized that it's time for Braley to come up and that she's sort of just ready to let go, which is a very hard situation for everybody involved. But for those of you wondering, I never made any videos about this because it just, again, is not really my place. It's a really touchy situation. So it's sad. I mean, it's sad, but it's what's best for Braley, and I think it's also what's best for Patty. And I'm super excited to see her. I do miss her a bunch, and I really, really love her. I mean, any of you guys who are following me on Patreon know that I trained Braley to ride bareback and bridleless, and we just had so much fun together. So again, if you guys want to watch the video of her and Link being reunited and her becoming part of the family and her rehab process and all of that, definitely subscribe to Patreon or YouTube members. I'm so thankful to have a wonderful friend like Patty, and I'm so thankful to now have another wonderful horse and wonderful member of the family. So yeah, that's it. Okay, tell me you're not ready to jump without telling me. I know in my last video, we talked a little bit in depth about bad lesson instructors. If you're younger and your parents don't know much about horses or horseback riding, study trainers that are really good and lesson instructors that are really good online so you know what to look for and you know how to see if a trainer is good or bad, which is kind of why I have my Let's Judge Horse Trainers video series to help people understand the green flags and the red flags, right? Going to a good trainer is so important. So again, parents, make sure you do your homework. Don't send your kids to just anybody, because bad trainers cause kids to grow up with bad riding ethics, to grow up with bad equitation, bad manners, and also injuries. That's the most important one, injuries. I see so many trainers that are horrible, that allow kids like this to jump when they're not ready, just because they don't want to tell the kid no, or because they think the kid is ready because they're not good at riding themselves. This child could have had the horse step on her head and could have crushed her head. And she even said in the caption that the horse did step on her head and luckily she was wearing a helmet. If the hoof had caught her on the side of the face, could have broken her jaw, could have crushed her nose. Any one of those things could have happened. She could have lifelong facial deformities from a tiny fall like that. The horse was not set up for the jump properly. She didn't see the distance right. She's jumping way too high. She should not be jumping this height. She's not ready. She's off balance. She's leaning too far forward. A child like this should just be focusing on cross rails, nothing else. Make sure that you go to good lesson instructors. Good lesson instructors create good riders. Bad lesson instructors create bad riders, and that's the God's honest truth. If a lesson instructor is always telling you that you're great, get a new one. Your lesson instructor needs to be telling you at least once every lesson something that you need to be improving on. Even if you're a phenomenal professional rider, you're still going to be making mistakes. You're still going to have things wrong with your riding. So if your lesson instructor is telling you every single time that you're doing nothing wrong and they're never correcting you, leave. Find a new one. They don't know what they're doing, and you're gonna get hurt. Okay, I'm really confused. So obviously this girl knew that the horse was probably going to jump really far because it was his first time jumping into water on cross country. And the reason I say that is because she's holding on to the saddle and she's holding the reins very, very low because she doesn't want the horse to pull her forward and pull her out of the saddle because she knows that he's going to leap into it. Clearly, she's trying to teach the horse to go in and knows that this might end poorly, but goes back on her plan halfway through the jump and pulls back on the horse's face when he jumps in, which causes her to be pulled forward and be thrown out of the saddle, which is what she was trying to avoid in the beginning. So I don't know what the disconnect is here. I don't know why she bailed on the plan halfway through, because had she just left the reins loose and held on to the saddle, like the position that you see her in here, she wouldn't have been pulled out of the saddle, because what caused her to be pulled out of the saddle was her pulling back on the reins and then him pulling her forward. So I wonder if her trainer, again, bad trainers, all goes back to bad trainers. I wonder if the trainer told her to leave the reins loose, but didn't tell her why. Fail all around. I don't even know what that was.
Easy. Oh. Maisie.
Okay, you guys totally deserve that, actually, and I'm glad that everybody in the comment section is giving them shit for this. First of all, wow, how to escalate a situation and not unload a horse from a trailer 101. That's absolutely ridiculous, what we just saw. Second of all, why is the horse tacked up inside a trailer? Can we address this point first? Don't tack up your horse and throw them into a trailer. Heat stroke is a very real thing. People fail to realize that trailering a horse is exercise. No matter if it's hot or cold outside, horses are getting exercise through standing in a trailer, having to balance. It's stressful. Why do you think you put a horse in a trailer for 10 minutes and you pull them out and they're sweating? Not to mention they can get stuck, they can get twisted, your tack can break, they can get hung up on something inside the trailer. A myriad of things can go wrong. Tacking your horse up inside a trailer is just a recipe for disaster, and above all else, it's lazy. Stop tacking your horses up in trailers. My God. This horse has clearly never been trained to trailer. And they knew that this horse was going to freak out like this, which is why they already had a guy filming on the way out. They should have not had the horse tacked up and just calmly walked the horse out of the trailer. The fact that she was trying to hold on to the horse inside the trailer, make the horse stand in there when the horse was clearly uncomfortable. What you do is you just teach your horse how to trailer properly first so they don't freak out like this. But if you have a horse that's panicking, just calm them down, wait until they're calm, and then open the trailer and then just calmly walk them out. The fact that this girl was holding on to the horse like this just made it a billion times worse. Unbelievably stupid, these people, and that girl could have been seriously injured. Not to mention, to top it all off, the cherry on top, they had a dog there barking.
Maisie.
Okay, these people have no control over their animals at all. That dog was completely ill-behaved as well. You would never catch one of my dogs barking around a horse, ever. Let's move on. Okay, before I give myself a heart attack. So we have to talk about 2Raw2Ride, who, crazy enough, is actually barely making it. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, which you're not, let's be real, you're not. You know who he is. I don't need to recap it, but I have multiple videos if you want to know who this guy is. I don't care enough about it to rehash it. Basically, Serial has abused the crap out of these horses and starved them over a period of several months. Update on Pete and Falcon. Both of them are skinny and lame, and I believe Pete has some additional problems, maybe his colic. They're both just old and in really terrible shape, okay? He got Pete for free as a pack horse from somebody who didn't want him. And he bought Shyok or Falcon, I think he goes by either name, from irresponsible people on Craigslist. Now, before I move on, yes, the people who owned Falcon or Shyok, they were irresponsible. They could have 100% put in the bill of sale a contingency and said that they were allowed to buy back the horse, which many breeders do this, that they would be allowed to buy back the horse under certain circumstances, like the horse is abused or mistreated. And I don't care all these people who say, well, they were lied to, and he said that he wasn't going to be riding the horse for a year and conditioning the horse until then to get him in good shape. Guys, it doesn't matter. Anybody who comes up to you and says they're going to ride your horse across the country for profit, don't sell the horse to them. Are you kidding? These people were just desperate to get rid of the horse, which is why they listed him at $4,000 and sold him for $3,000. So they obviously didn't really care too much about this horse and just wanted it gone. And then when there was public backlash for how could they sell the horse to such an irresponsible person, they were like, oh, don't blame us, we didn't know. So the previous owners are also to blame for this situation as well. Just wanted to point that out. Serial was stopped in Idaho, and animal control and police told him that he was not able to ride the horses anymore because he didn't have the proper documentation for them to be crossing borders. And I believe they also noted that a vet needed to check out both of the horses and give him clearance to be able to ride them because both of them were really skinny and malnourished. And as you guys know, he's approaching the end of his journey. The horses are barely alive. I'm surprised they've actually made it as long as they have, but you know, that's what happens when you trailer more than halfway because he didn't even ride it. But essentially, he ran away from Idaho and ran back to Montana. So he backtracked in somebody else's trailer to try to get away from authorities. And now I think he's probably done with his journey. There's been a few videos posted of him just kind of like doing whatever around Montana. Serial has been trying to sell these two horses for about a month now, maybe a little bit more. And he's wanting to sell them for $60,000. This guy is desperate because he quit his job at the beginning of the year, expecting that he was going to do something heroic that was going to gain news, media, attention all around the world, and that everybody was going to love him and follow his journey, and that it was going to be successful, and Netflix was going to pick up a documentary on him and whatever. And it all crashed and burned hilariously. Basically, the whole internet hates him. He's actually had multiple negative articles written about him. Nobody cares about his journey. He's barely amassed 20,000 followers on TikTok, which is nothing at all. And nobody's interested in his footage. Nobody is interested in his journey. So why is he selling these horses? Well, it's simple. He never cared about the horses. Now he realizes that the horses are just a drain on his finances, and he's looking for a quick fix. He quit his job. He has no money, and his Netflix deal and him being famous idea and grand plan crashed and burned. So now he's currently just looking for a way out of this situation while still making some amount of money, which is why he's trying to sell the horses for a ridiculous amount. I'll keep you guys posted on that whole situation, but that's pretty much a recap of the 2Raw2Ride at this current moment. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. And thank you again to Animal Nutrition Calculator for sponsoring me. Don't forget to check them out. And don't forget to head on over to Patreon or YouTube members and watch Braylee's homecoming and all the videos about her and her rehab process. So I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.